This is how we ride. This is how we do.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Chili Bowl Championship Saturday, and I mean, right now, when recording this, it's 2:30 Central. They've been racing since early this morning. There's a lot of things happening, and in this video, we're going to talk about more so what's going to happen later in the day. Of course, Kris Carroll, right now at this moment, has made history by coming from, I believe, the N main and just transferred out of the I, and that is the most mains transferred on a Saturday night or a Saturday at the Chili Bowl Midget Nationals. So, very interesting. But at the end of the day, we're really looking forward to that A main tonight, and we're trying to think, well, who can make it to that A? There has been some people come from the F, etc., back in the day to make it to the A, but this is a little bit different of a world now. It's really, really hard to do that. I made a video on what to watch for, how this all lines up, and you really need to be in a C main to even think about maybe making the A. This year, we have a legitimate shot at a guy coming from the D main to win the main event. And I'm going to be talking about the D main on up. We'll briefly touch here. I got the lineups and web pages here. Right here, it shows you how earlier in the day they transfer 6 cars. But it switches from transferring 6 cars to 5 cars only when we get into the G main. Obviously, there's still stuff to come. You can see right there in the I main, the second I main, Kris Carroll in that 5, or in the 5th spot in the 36K car came from 16th, and he's been racing all day long, so keep an eye out for that. But we're talking about the nitty-gritty. And really, I would be up here in the C mains talking about potential guys who could make it into the A. I mean, look at some of these C mains here. Zach Dahm, Jake Swanson, Joe B. Miller, Jordan Kinzer, Jacob Denny. There's all kinds of guys that are performing extremely well. These were people who were in the mid-pack of the A mains on qualifying nights. I mean, Jake Buback, Tanner Holmes in the first C main, second C main, Clinton Boyles. I mean, these were some people who were on the edge of maybe making the A. Some bad luck, this or that happened to them. But somebody with the worst luck of all, who is potentially going to be able to make it from the D main into the night's A main and potentially win it. And this is probably the best shot that we've had in a long time when it comes to car-driver combo. And that is the driver starting 13th. You know, no big brother symbolism here, but 13th in the second D feature, and that is that 71W of Michael Buddy Kofoid. Now, obviously, top 5 transfer. There is 15 laps, so you do have time to get things done. And out of the 2B mains, this is somewhat, I mean, there really ain't no easier ones, but these are some good cars. You got Brendan Crouch in there, Chance Morton's in there, Ronnie Gardner's in there, Alex Bright's on the pole, Nick Hoffman's in this one, Roger Crockett is in this one, Matt Mitchell, who had some speed, Cap Henry. I mean, so this is the difficulty when you get up into these D, C, and B mains. It's not a J. It's not a I or an L. With Kayla Roll and Carter Chevelle or something. There are marquee names, really starting at the F main, E main, but there's marquee names in the DC, and these Bs are just unbelievable. We do get into the B mains, and they do advance the top 7 to the A main when we get to these B mains, but let's just run through the course here for the potential of Buddy Kofoid making it through into the A. So if he's able to beat all these guys in D feature 2, he is now locked into the 2 category. There's 2 segments of drivers here, and that's 1s and 2s. So when it goes to the C main, if he transfers, he's going to be in C main number 2 here with Clinton Boyles, Dominic Gordon, Cameron Key, who was up front in the A main, Trey Grope, Darren Pittman, Dason Persley, the list, Andrew Felker, J.J. Yaley, Justin Zimmerman, Ayrton Jennington. These are strong cars in the C main, and only the top 5 advance at this point. And you look at some of the other guys in C mains, in the first segment, we can even look at somebody who could potentially make a run, like a Zach Dahm, who is figuring out the Bondio cars over there, Cody Swanson and Jake Swanson in this one. I mean, it's going to be hard. So potentially, if Buddy Kofoid can come from 13th and get to 5th in 15 laps, there is time. He's going to be in a C main with Boyles. All these guys who are extremely fast. These are marquee lineups here. And when you get into these B mains, let's just go through it. He's in B feature 2 if he can do it. Now, if you get to the Bs, you got 20 laps and you have the top 7 that's going to advance. But you have potentially locked in cars, event winners in this. And something I wanted to point out in these C mains is B Feature 2 also has 2 of the late model guys who were the hard chargers of each of their main events. I believe it was Tim McCready who came from 22nd to 8th, and I think it was Ricky Thornton Jr. who went from 21st to 6th. But look at this list. Once you get to the B main for Buddy Kofoid in B main 2, Chase McDermott, Brady Bacon, Kyle Jones, Trey Marcham, Blake Hahn, Jason McDougal, Tanner Carrick, Kaylee Bryson, Gavin Bochelle, Ricky Thornton Jr., Jace Park, Chase Johnson, Tim McCready, Kyle Spence, and Thomas freaking Mesereau. Do you know how hard it is to pass one of these guys in 20 laps? Brady Bacon, pick 7 out of that. And then let's look at the first B main. I mean, geez. Jade Abedisian, who in my opinion, you know, I've watched from the outside looking in, and I think that female racers in motorsports get way more attention than their merit deserves. But, and we need a Jade Abedisian. I'm extremely impressed. We need a Jade Abedisian to replace the merit in the female racing category of motorsports. We need a woman to come out here and kick some ass and get some respect and clout for what she does on that racetrack. And Jade Abedisian has jumped off the screen this week to me. But regardless, she'll be leading them to the green flag. This is a B main of Abedisian, Wyndham, Brent Cruz, Zeb Wise, Tim Buckwalter, and a team car to Hank Davis. Those 29 machines are flying fast. Jonathan Beeson, Chase Briscoe, Kevin Thomas Jr., Ace McCarthy, Carter Serif, Chance Crum, Ryan Timms, Taylor Reimer, Brian Carver, and Ryan Bernal. Good luck. Pick your 7. 20 damn laps. This is insane. How hard and this is why I was stressing, you really needed to be in a good spot in your qualifying night, because the people lined up already, qualified for the B main, is positions 3 through 8 in your qualifying night. That's how good these guys are. These guys were 1 or 2 spots from being locked in. And then you're going to throw all those guys into a qualifying feature and say 20 laps, top 7. Now, luckily, it is top 7. That's almost half the field. Almost. So you got a good shot. But the talent level, even in these Cs, especially these B mains, is A main quality. And that's why when the A main goes green, which we have the post shuffle coming up, it'll determine how these guys line up. Hank Davis, Logan Seavey, Cannon McIntosh, Tanner Thorson, Rico Avery, Shane Golobic, Emerson Axum, Mitchell Moles, Justin Grant, and Spencer Baston. But once you add 14 drivers out of this list, the CBs and potential Ds, I think Kofoid's got a shot to come into the A. Yeah, the track rework really hurts the first half of that race because the track is a one-liner around the bottom. But even if it was, slick from bottom to top, who's passing here? This is so much talent, it's hard to pass some of these guys, period, just based on how fast they are. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Buddy Kofoid can come from that D main 13th starting spot and come through these amazing fields. The C main's going to be the toughest. I think he can make some ground up in that D. But when you transfer 5 to the back of this second C main and there's 20 cars, 15 laps, top 5 only, he's got to pass a car lap. So that C main, these C mains are potentially, if you're coming out of the D, harder to advance than the B feature where you have 20 laps and 7 advance. And these are all 20 car fields. So, just some potential people to look an eye out for. I think Kofoid's a little deeper than he could be. You could go back to the E and see some drivers that maybe can make a run. Corey Day's obviously got the aggressiveness. He's going to be in the second E feature. And you're going to have a certain level of aggressiveness. You're going to have to put these cars in places you're not going to want to put them when you're starting 20th and you have 15 laps to get to the top 5. So this is why I say the C's, D's, C's, B's are way more intense. These are some of the most intense racing of the week that you're going to see, even more so than the A, because some of these drivers, once they get to the A, they feel accomplished in itself. They don't think that they're going to come from 18th and potentially beat some of these guys that are up front. But the desire to get into the A, that's there. And it's going to be an interesting drive for some of these guys. And I'll tell you what, D-Main number 2, pay attention to that 71W of Michael Kofoid. And it's going to be interesting to see how he can come through it. It's going to be very interesting. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, history's already been made in these mains with Kris Carroll advancing the most of anyone in history at the Chili Bowl. Great feat, amazing thing. But I'm telling you, if you're a motorsports fan, when these E's and D's hit the track with Kofoid and the C's and the B's, this is going to be some of the most exciting racing, most aggressive, fast, action-packed, people taking chances type of racing that you could see all year long potentially. Because everything's just so close, so together. These cars are so quick and fast. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, there's some things to look out for. What's going to be happening? What's transitioning? Post-shuffle's going to happen. That'll be kind of like a 4v4 style deal. I'm not going to break that down. A-Main's going to be 55 laps. We'll see if they do this traditional huge track rework, and the lane is only a car and a half wide for 30 laps of the 55 lapper. Let's hope that's not the case. We'll have to see. But Michael Buddy Kofoid, can he make the drive from that D-Main number 2? And then I just explained to you how hard it is to do this stuff. If Michael Buddy Kofoid can get to the A-Main, he may be the only guy I can see coming from the D-Main to potentially win this event in today's world. That is an extremely well-crewed vehicle, an extremely smart car owner, and an extremely talented driver. And it's going to be interesting to see if New Age history can be made today in the Expo Center. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to give the video a like, a comment, what you think, who's going to be coming, who's to watch out for, and also subscribe and make sure that notification bell is clicked as well so you get updated and information notifications when we go live or post a video here on Long Live the Chaz. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I'm still drinking coffee at 2:30 in the afternoon, but that's because it's time for everybody to just wake up a little bit and pay attention to the things that are about to be happening inside that building.
This is how we ride, this is how we do.